Hi, my name is Minger Urquilla, and I wrote the play Hilo. I'm going to be answering some questions the other writers had for me. My first question is from Sophie Goldstein, who wrote the play Rosa. She asks, where did the spark for your story come from? What was the inspiration? Definitely, the idea started off as a poem I was trying to write where the central metaphor was like embroidering someone's emotional wounds, but the more I tried to tinker with the poem, it just wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So I just kind of put that idea to the back burner and let it sit. And a while after, when I was trying to come up with the idea for a play, it came back up and I was able to turn it into a play. My mother, my entire mother's family is from El Salvador. They came in the wave of migration in the 80s, fleeing the Civil War. So I definitely have a lot of stories and intergenerational trauma from that time that I think part of the play is trying to unravel that and to understand that perspective and that historic event that, the political is personal, has really been a defining event in the life of my entire family. So I wanted to write a play about that and about like the emotional toll that these things take and how much a war robs from you in less tangible ways. My next question comes from Andrew Cervantes, who wrote Lola, and the question is magic realism a genre you gravitate towards? And definitely, I adore magical realism. It is such a rich and complex literary genre that my script is definitely only touching the surface of what it is and can be. I feel like when I attempt to write magical realism and really, standing on the shoulders of giants, Rulfo, Marquez, Allende, and I'm just trying to scramble up and give a rudimentary interpretation of it, I'm definitely working on exploring the genre and understanding it better to produce better works in it. Magical realism is a Latin American art form, and I think because of that it's uniquely suited to tell the stories that I want to tell, especially stories about trauma and pain and all this intergenerational legacy that the war has left us. So yeah, magical realism is, I think, my favorite genre to read and my most difficult genre to write. And my last question is from Brianna Sandoval, who wrote Worston Show, and she asks, the relationship between the boy and the girl keeps the audience in a state of will they, won't they? Was this dynamic originally in the script, or did it come through during rehearsals with the actors and directors staging? And if you care to share, what was your view of the relationship? It's definitely, the romance of the relationship is definitely more ambiguous. The relationship between the boy and the girl is the central tenet to the entire play. These two characters keep each other anchored to the world, and they give each other a sense of belonging and normalcy in this completely tumultuous time they're living through. The characters have moments in the script of flirtation, but they also have moments that can be interpreted completely platonically. People, when they read the script, have completely different takes on it. My director, when he read it initially, told me he thought it was completely a platonic relationship, but when it came time to stage the play, we ended up leaning more into the romance of it and, leaning into those moments. The end product is still ambiguous because the script is ambiguous, and though I included a moment or two of flirtation in the script, I think for me, ultimately, the possibility of romance in their relationship is secondary to everything else that they are and they mean to each other. And by the time the play closes, we don't get a concrete answer on how the relationship is going to move forward. And, I, as a writer, don't know what's going to happen between them, because I think what they are to each other is already exactly what they need to be. and they could build on that and have a romantic relationship, and that would be great, but they also don't have to, and they would still hold on to each other as deeply important people for each other in the world that they live in.